Stories, I'm a fool for your love.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited today because I get to shoot in the showroom, and I've decided to do this because I want to give you this wedding feeling and wedding dress environment. So in the future I'm going to try and use this place as much as I can. I guess today's video is going to be about the early stages of wedding dress shopping, and that is booking an appointment. So usually I get asked from my brides-to-be questions like, how far in advance should I book my appointment? Who should I bring with me? Or for instance, what should I bring with me during an appointment? And these are really simple and common things that a lot of people should know, but usually you're confused about and you really don't know what to expect. So in this video, my aim is to comprise some of the most important things that you should keep in mind and you should consider prior to booking an appointment. So as you're going for your appointment, you know exactly what you have to do, and you know exactly how it works. So girls, keep on watching and let's begin. So number one and most important thing to consider prior to booking a wedding dress appointment is to begin really early and call your wedding showrooms in advance. And the reason I'm saying this is because some of the places that you might try to get a reservation with could be really busy, or they could be fully booked depending on the time of the year. And they might not be able to satisfy your schedule in terms of date and time. So this is why it's so important to book early, because this would guarantee you an undivided attention for you and you only, and you could really take your time in trying on as many wedding dresses and as many styles as you want without rushing through going through each and every one of them and not being able to really assess what looks good on you and what doesn't. Another reason why booking early is so important is the time frame that it takes for a wedding gown to arrive in once it's been ordered for you. So in the wedding industry, this could take from 6 to 8 months. So you can really see how this process stretches out, and it leaves you with very little time at the end. Well, depending whether you've ordered it early enough or not, it leaves you with very little time at the end for any alterations or fittings prior to the wedding. So I cannot stress out enough that you should begin really early and give yourself enough time for one, trying on wedding dresses and deciding on a dress, two, booking and buying your wedding dress, and three, fitting it and getting any alterations that are required prior to the wedding. Next point I would want you to keep in mind is your budget and where does the price range for the wedding dress fit within that budget. So prior to doing any physical shopping, I would suggest to really do some research and get familiar to what's out there with the price ranges and really decide what would you be comfortable with in terms of paying for a wedding dress. I would suggest to set yourself a realistic budget and be true to it, and never try dresses that exceed the budget that you set for yourself. Because a wedding dress is not already expensive enough, unfortunately when it comes to wedding dresses there are a lot of hidden costs that you probably haven't even thought about. For example, if you're a taller than average girl and your dress requires an extra length, or your dress needs to be ordered in a plus size, then there might be some extra charges associated with these features, and these charges are usually incurred by you as a customer and are not included in the original prices of the sample gowns that you try on in the showroom. So you might want to confirm this surcharging associated with extra feature with your wedding consultant prior to ordering your dress, as well as any charges that might apply to your fittings or any alterations once the dress has arrived in the shop. My next point is really simple, but yet it would give you a very efficient appointment, and it would help you avoid wasting time on trying on dresses that you know for a fact you don't want to see yourself in walking down the aisle. This point is not what you like prior to booking an appointment. Although the sales assistant would be there to ask you the right type of questions in order to figure out what your preferences are, what shapes and styles you're looking for a wedding dress, there are a lot of cases where brides themselves don't even know what to expect from a wedding dress and what looks good on them and what doesn't. So in this case, I would suggest to bring with you photos of dresses that you found interesting, either from online sources, from magazines, or from previous weddings that you've been to. Bring them with you during the appointment, and this would give your sales assistant a starting point, and based on those, she will be able to guide you towards the right size and shape that would work really well with your body type. Also, if you have yet to decide on a particular shape or style of a dress that you'd like to see yourself in, I would suggest to never turn off recommendations from your sales assistant. So if you're given a particular dress to try on, don't say no to it and definitely put it on, because one, wedding dresses don't usually look great on hangers, so you might not like it initially. And the second, you wouldn't believe, but 80% of the sales are based on dresses that brides never thought they would wear. The next point is as important as all the previous ones I've mentioned, and this is determine the dress code. For instance, if you're planning a castle wedding, there's no rule in keeping it simple and small. You don't have to underestimate the dress, and you can go as big and bold as you want, and you can become the princess you've always dreamt of being since a very young age. And alternatively, if you're planning a destination wedding in a really hot climate, I would suggest you to opt for a really light and simple dress with only a few layers of really light material that would keep you cool and relaxed and comfortable throughout the day. You might also have to consider religious restrictions when shopping for a wedding gown. So if your ceremony is in a house of worship, be sure that you are up to date with any attire guidelines that you might have to follow, such as covering your shoulders. One of the common questions that I get asked from my brides-to-be is, what should I bring with me during my bridal appointment? And I guess my answer would be to bring with you any accessories that you think you might want to include in your wedding look. Although many of the showrooms would probably provide you with a pair of shoes and a slip-on hand, you should still come prepared by wearing the right underwear. And when I say right underwear, I definitely don't mean black. I would suggest that you're wearing a nude and seamless underwear, so you're not showing any lines on the dresses that you're trying on. And then if you want to try a boob tube dress, I would recommend that you wear a strapless bra, so you don't have to tuck those straps inside the dress. Although optional, you could always bring your own pair of shoes to your appointment with a similar height of the ones that you'd wear on your wedding day, so you can see exactly how the dress would fall with the particular heels that you want to wear. Next thing is makeup, and I would recommend you to keep it as light as possible when shopping for wedding dresses. So the gowns you will be trying on are probably samples, which means that the salon would only have one of each. So there won't be another dress handy for your sales assistant to go down in the storeroom and bring you if there's any makeup or fake tan marks, if there's a smudge or a coffee spill on the dress. My advice to you is to wear enough makeup to make you look pretty during your trial, but skip the lipstick and the fake tan. And be mindful when you're trying on wedding dresses, or better off, if your wedding consultant wants to assist you in putting on the dresses, let her, and do your part in keeping the dresses as neat and as pretty looking as possible for the next bride trying it on. And the last thing I want you to keep in mind prior to booking an appointment is to limit the amount of people that you bring with you. So I know shopping for a wedding dress is very stressful, and you might be tempted in bringing a big entourage with you while dress shopping, but most of the time this ends up being a really bad idea, because you end up with a big clash of opinions, none of which will ever matter more than your own. Of course, it'd be really difficult for you to make a decision on such an important dress in your life solely basing it on your own instinct and your judgment. But if you find that you need to involve someone else's opinion into this decision, then bring with you a maximum of 3 people whose opinion will be genuine and truthful, and they won't jeopardize the entire appointment. So ladies, that's it for today. I hope you found today's information useful, and if you know somebody that might benefit from it, please share with them. I encourage you to leave me as many comments in the comment section below with any suggestions, any topics that you want me to talk about in the future. And if you want to stay updated with my future videos, please hit that subscription button below.